This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, my Lord and Jesus, heaven above. Thank you so much for waiting. I'm so sorry. I tried to change the time to 11 at a gas station when we stopped, but evidently I didn't have enough service because we have been way out in the cut. I had to take Mr. Speculating about 45 minutes after I laid down. He found a truck on Facebook Marketplace and he's been looking for a truck. So I had to go take him to look at the truck, but the truck was 2 hours away. So while we were getting gas to go out, I scheduled this live thinking we would be back. But men with the trucks and they have to check for like 4 hours and make sure everything's good. So it took longer. I apologize profusely for you guys having to wait. I am so sorry. I did try to change it at the gas station and it appeared to have went through, but evidently it didn't. I can't believe that happened because if I come to a live and it's scheduled for a certain time and it don't start at that time, I leave, I get pissed off and I unsubscribe. So I'm so sorry about that. So very sorry. Um no, well, we are, but we have to go at 6 o'clock in the morning and I figured I'm going to be on with you guys for about an hour. That'll put me going to bed about 12 o'clock. And then I'll have to get up at 6 hours and take him to basically back out there again so we can go to the UPS store because the guy was supposed to have a notary. Listen to this shit. The guy, he's going to get the truck, but they had a friend that was a notary and we need a notary to sign the title over, okay? And his friend is a notary and she was supposed to do it, but she was having to take her husband to the hospital because her husband kept like getting in his eyes, like the blood vessels would pop behind his eyes. So he had some type of surgery. They literally took his eyeballs out and like put it, the guy said, in some kind of bubble or something, and then reconnected his eyeballs. And he was having issues with his eyes, and we were like, good lord, like if he had his freaking eyeball surgically removed, let that man, yeah, we'll just meet you tomorrow. Goodness. Oh my goodness. Cindy, that is so very sweet of you. You guys are so cherished too. You really touched my heart waiting. Thank you guys for that. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you, Dandy. Y'all are so very sweet. Mustang, it's good to see you, love. Hio, Edith, Abellis, I saw you gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much for that. Julie M, Lovely Bones, Curious Christine, Southern Cats, Hannah UK. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Mark the Shark, good to see you. Mark the Shark brought us the news about baby Emmanuel Haro's father, Jake Haro. It took me a minute confessed today at court. And he knew that because he has been following that trial very closely and had somebody at court today on his behalf because he had to do some things. And I wanted to share that with you guys. We went over there. I told everybody to go over there so that they could check that out. I don't know where the live stream is though. I'll try to grab his link once we get started on the videos that I have for us to go over. I will drop Mark's link. If you guys have not subscribed to Mark, please go do that because he has people at the courthouse and he can tell us everything that's happening in the Manuel Haro case as well as other cases. So make sure you're subscribed if you have not. Abellis and Scratch the Paint, good to see you. You told ghost stories, did you? That is super cool. I have to scroll up and look. Julie, good to see you. Miss King of Anything, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Edith, my love. Julie Ann, Shelby, thank you guys so very much for being here. You guys are amazing. I'm just scrolling. Mama Jax, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Nice to meet you. Blue Giraffes, good to see you. Yes, there's 20 new members. I know. I feel so bad for having been gone. I legitimately thought it went through, and I guess it didn't. One sunny day, good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm all the way back at the top. Abellis gifted 20 home memberships. I have no idea who they went to. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and that deserves a haunted train and a Polar Express because it's a little chilly outside this here evening. So I'm gonna grab the haunted train to pick up our first 10 members and then I will grab the Polar Express. Thank you so very much, Abellis. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. I love you so much. You're so awesome. So is our entire speculating family. Thank you guys for being here with us tonight. Let me grab the haunted train to pick up our members. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Abella Stony Photos. Thank you so much for being here. And Loudmouth, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Jeannie 444, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of our speculating family. I saw that Sony says she watches, but she doesn't comment much, and she loves the speculating family. I love you all too. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna grab the Polar Express for our other 10. Thank you again, Abellis. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abellis. I greatly appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Good to see you. I love you too. I love you too so much. You guys are amazing. All aboard. I'm usually quiet, as you know, but I'm always here. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. Oh my gosh. My eye fell out in the spooky train. Oh my goodness, Hannah. That is super crazy. All right. So, thank you guys for being here. We need to discuss Daisy Link because y'all, I went to sleep, and I think it was Lorianne who commented that she got um, homicide too, which is I did not see that coming. I felt like the prosecution wasn't able to put up a case at all, so I got it where we left off. Now it was at 4:25. We'll say 4:25 that they left off. Okay. And they were back in at what, 5:29? They took an hour to deliberate, y'all. An hour. And you can see by the look on her face right here, she's worried, as you should be if a jury only takes an hour to deliberate. That's scary because you know that they pretty much all agreed that it's not good. Orange Rose, thank you so much for the super sticker. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. And I figured that if I come live tonight so we could talk about this, we might see some people that aren't able to make it during the day. And so I was excited about that. Look at the little lemon blowing a kiss. That is so sweet. Thank you so much, Orange Rose. I appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kalisa. Mark said, bless Cindy and Hio. Thank you. And AS, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna drop your link as soon as we watch as soon as I play this so that we can see what happened. And Hio's too. If you guys have not checked out Hio, please do so. She is great too. I didn't even check to see if you were live, and I'm sorry if you were live. I know 1 hour they didn't even argue. They pretty much just went back there and said, "Yep, we're charging her with this. Yep, this is going to be what we think should be the sentence, et cetera, et cetera." I don't know if they told us what she thinks think should be the sentence, but man, I could not believe it. Like that's got to be breaking a freaking record. I did not think for a minute she would get homicide, murder too, basically. Um, I thought she would get manslaughter and possibly walk. She is not happy in this moment, as I wouldn't be either. I would be real upset. And I don't even know how they came to that conclusion when the prosecution was not even able to pretty much present a case. Like they kept getting shut down over and over and over again. And they didn't even play the jail call where she's like, if I'd have known that I was looking at 25 to life, I would have cut him up and put him all over Florida. Like, this is insane. No, 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 I haven't been live in a second. RL is kicking my ass. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Oh yeah, she sees you. Drop kicks Hio to get her to go live. We got to get Hio going live. She has a minimum of 25 years for second-degree homicide with a firearm in Florida. So she's looking at a minimum of 25 years, which will be 23 with the 2 years she served, 22 or 23. If I was around you in person, you'd understand the name Loudmouth. Look, Loudmouth, something funny. Mr. Speculating says that like he can hear me across the yard. Thank you, Cindy, for dropping his link. I'm going to grab Mark's as well. I think the jury didn't like Daisy. Shouldn't work that way. I agree. I agree. All right, so I've got this ready to go. We're going to see what happened as soon as they came in. Oh, she's upset. I don't think
the substance of the photographs
Thank you, Kia.
that the state referenced in their closing are the outside of Miss.
Okay, they're talking about photographs that were the outside of what I'm assuming she's about to say, the house that they referenced in the closing. So Hio just dropped Mark the Sharks link. Go subscribe to him if you haven't. And Cindy had dropped it earlier too, and I missed it. Thank you so much, Cindy. And then Cindy also dropped Hio Sandra's link. So definitely go subscribe up to her if you have not. And as long as I don't forget, I will put them in the description. Indie Girl, good to see you, love. Thank you for being here. Julie Ann said, I think the case was a little fuck. So yeah, she'll probably appeal. Probably. I work in retail and they can hear me in the back of the store. Mr. Speculating can always hear me across the yard. He's coming in right now to lay down, so hopefully we won't hear him snoring. In my opinion, it's just a conviction. She killed a man, whether it was or it wasn't intentional. Yeah, you're right. I'm told we don't need a loudspeaker in our store. Just let me make the announcements. I'm right there with you, girl. Hey, Becky. Good to see you and Indie Girl. All right, let me stop running. Let me stop jaw jacking. And let us
Daisy's home, which encompasses a duplex. There is a fifth one that Mr. Tomas you found in your discovery.
Yes, ma'am.
And what does that one show?
So that one shows inside, shows the home. Shows the door. I believe it's the back door, and very close to the back door, there's a window that you can tell it's in place of glass. There are other things there.
Cardboard.
And this would. I think this would go towards the specific question that the jury asked about, I think they were alluding to the testimony that Pedro stuck his hand through the window to unlock the door.
Because at one point during the state's closing, some reference was made about how tall he was, and Mr. Brigida is not as tall as him. Something along those lines, if you remember it better than me, let me know, but something along the lines of reaching in and how nothing of the outside, the inference was nothing on the outside was damaged. That from where I was sitting, that was the gist of the state's closing argument on that point.
Yeah, I recall, I guess the impression that I got was that this that I'm showing you shows that he couldn't have reached in and opened the door.
I got the same impression. But those photographs that were used as a demonstrative aid are not in evidence?
Well, so yes and no. When I was creating this presentation yesterday, I have a good faith basis to believe that at least some, if not all, of these photos are in evidence. I obviously do not have access to evidence once we are done for the day. I have reason to believe, based off of the testimony, as well as the introduction, as well as conversations I've had with co-counsels, that those photographs were introduced. The other photograph, and it's 100% my fault. I missed it. Mr. Tomas brought it to my attention when we were outside of the hall, I believe. I would not have made the argument that I had made. I would have changed it a little bit. It would have been something similar, but I still would have made the same argument. But I still have reason to believe those four should be.
So just print out the duplicate one. Are you going to go get it for us, Mr. Oxala?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll go to the back. Or no, I actually have to go to across the street and go and grab it.
Can you make your way over there now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, how else do I fix this?
I don't believe it's fundamental error, Your Honor. I understand your concerns. I genuinely do.
We're probably going to skip past this a little bit.
I lean conservative when it comes to. No, I'm sorry. I lean very conservative when it comes to those kinds of things.
I'm going to see what her attorney said.
It wasn't a.
Meredith?
They're talking about those
You can get that
photos.
some space. All right, folks, we're back. Thank you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All jurors are present, lawyers as well as Ms. Link. Okay.
All right.
In order to best answer what I think you were asking, the lawyers also think the same regarding your first question. There are 4 photographs that the state referenced in their closing. Those were demonstratives, so they were not in evidence. By agreement of the parties, they are now introduced into evidence. 4 photographs, 1 composite, number 32. It'll be a state exhibit. In fairness to the defense, because those items were not introduced into evidence, I'm allowing states 33 in Mr. Tomas's hand, and he'll be able to address you for about a minute as a rebuttal to what was not introduced into evidence, okay? Go ahead, Mr. Tomas.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a photo for your consideration.
I agree, Khalifa.
This is Exhibit 33. As you can see in this photo, here is the door, photo from the inside of the house. This door is in close proximity to this window. And as you can see, this window has items taped which are taking the place of the glass. So instead of having glass, this window is really covered up by these, I guess, cardboard items, and you can see that they're taped together. So this is being submitted to you because, as you can see, Mr. Jimenez could have feasibly, from the outside of the house, stuck his hand in through this open window next to the door and unlocked it and opened it from the outside. So I believe this was relevant for your consideration. It's Exhibit 33. It's going to go back with you, and you can look at it as much
We'll
as
hand it to you now, 32 and 33. We'll hand them to you now, and you can continue your deliberations. Thank you.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on just a minute. Let me plug this one.
Alrighty, they've now gone back in. I'll be upstairs. We can go off record if anybody.
Before we do that, I just want to apologize again. It's entirely my fault. I did not, I missed it. I just want to put it on the record. It's entirely on me. And I
Understood.
It's an
Listen.
honest mistake. We all make mistakes.
And I think we remedied it, and by allowing you, Mr. Tomas, to directly address the jury and point out what you wanted to point out, I think it took care of it.
I
So
appreciate it.
we'll see where it goes. Thank you.
Y'all, oh my God, I was trying to plug in his charger, and you know how, like, you try to plug something in, but you can't see it? I still couldn't get it plugged in. I said, you're going to have to wait a minute. All right, so they left, and then they came back. Yep, here we are again.
On both sides, we will all keep our calm and composure. I'm not going to say it again. Anyone who disrupts these.
Hold on. There we go. So they're about to come back. Y'all said she's wearing 70s curtains and hotel curtains and all the things. Hannah said I posted.
Lawyers are present as well as Ms. Link. Jury is telling us they have a verdict. I'm going to bring them in.
Right?
Before we publish, I may publish. Before we publish, this was, listen, the lawyers did a good job.
I thought.
I know there's family members on both sides. We will all keep our calm and composure. I'm not going to say it again. Anyone who disrupts these court proceedings will be immediately removed, number one. Number two, the jury did their job. They will not be felt one way or the other influenced by anyone's reaction. Okay, let's bring them in.
You know, the clothes that she has, what her family provides, so I guess her family provided those clothes, but like, yeah. And I think the fact that she had the HVAC baby, and people didn't really even know that, I doubt they were allowed to mention that in court, but like, it shows that she hasn't matured.
All right, all jurors are accounted for. We can be seated.
No, you don't.
Mr. Bowie, you're a foreperson. Yeah. Bowie, you have a verdict. So I'm going to review it just to make sure everything's been checked off appropriately. After, if it's all in order, the clerk will ask you each one if this is your verdict, and then we'll take it from there, okay?
Back that quick. They deliberated for a little over an hour, and that was it.
Okay.
Do
All right, Ms. Link.
Oh, it's low. I put it down
The state
low.
of Florida versus Daisy Link, case number F2211523. Verdict, we the jury in Miami-Dade County, Florida, find the defendant, Daisy Link, as to count 1, second-degree murder, guilty of second-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder, you must answer each of the following questions. Number 1, did the defendant actually possess a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. Number 2, did the defendant discharge a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. 3, did the defendant discharge a firearm causing death during the commission of the crime? Yes. So say we all, the 16th day of October 2025, signed by the foreperson. All right, Marilise, we're going to poll the jury.
The jury, if you have the judge read the verdict, as I call your name, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Kenan Bowen,
Yes.
Ramona Espinosa, Jacqueline Smith,
Yes.
Tiara Campo,
Yes.
Esther Montoro,
Yes.
Lawrence Vega.
Yes.
Judge, the jurors are seated.
Okay. I just have one more thing I have to read
I
to you
turned
all.
it up.
Let me
Hopefully
just
that's
pull it up
better.
real quick.
I bet she's nervous, you know?
It's one paragraph long.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
You're right,
I wish
my
to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court
Yes,
order.
ma'am.
For many centuries, our society has relied
Agree.
upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are
I mean, but why didn't we leave the jury's names private?
at liberty
I
to
know.
speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict
Very
or your
quiet.
deliberations
Okay,
may
hold on.
come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find faults with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. And with that, I thank you again. Please go
Okay,
outside with
hopefully
me,
that's
so I have a
better.
certificate of appreciation for you. I'll shake your hand. We'll give you back your electronic devices.
Judge, before you do that, can I come step back to that office?
I thought you would. Hey, Angela. So I think that was the end now. Oh, we're going to come back. Hold on. I think they just released the jury, though. Okay, so hopefully it sounds better. I had turned my mic down earlier because my voice is so loud that, you know, everybody was like, let me make sure it's picking up on my mic, not my headphones.
Now we can all rise and you all can go outside with your doors open.
Hold on.
No. Follow me, please.
Yeah, it's picking up on my mic. Okay. You can still barely hear me. All right, hold on. Let me mute myself.
All right, folks, we can go off record for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, am I any better? Hopefully I'm better now. I yeeted myself. I said, yeet. Get the hell out of here. All right, we're back. We're off the record just to see. It's about to end. Oh. Unless it's muted there. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Okay, what have I done? Hold on.
Sounded fine to me.
Yeah, but now I accidentally clicked the wrong button on the YouTube and you can't hear the YouTube. Hold on, let me pull it up for y'all. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Hey, Shauna. Good to see you, love. Thank you for being here. Girl, you ain't late. We're late. Late as hell. I'm not staying on too long, but we got a couple of
We
things.
can go off record for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
I think she's gonna try to appeal, but I don't know how she'd get a better. Yes, that was Mr. Speculating. She planning her next HVAC baby. I wouldn't doubt it. I think she'll appeal, but I don't think she would get a better chance at it than that. I thought they would do the boob tube is shape. I thought that it would be manslaughter as well. I really did. How do we come back?
8 weeks time.
Oh,
It's gonna
hold
print
on.
tomorrow anyway, Mr. Tomas.
Okay, it's about to go back. I thought that she would get manslaughter, and I thought that they would be deliberating for like at least 6 hours. Oh, Abella said, "Welcome home, that we missed you." You hear me? He's got his headphones on. Abella said, "Welcome home, we missed you."
Thank you.
He said, "Thank you." Lord, did I not skip it ahead far enough? Good gracious. Good gravy, baby. All right, here we go.
Back on record.
I think she is
President,
shocked
as
by the verdict. I
Ms.
do.
Link, all right, Ms. Link, the jury's found you guilty. I will adjudicate you guilty. I'm inclined to defer sentencing for another day.
The defendant is not a convicted felon. He has several holds. He would otherwise be held at PSI. I don't know if the defense is waiving that or not, but I would, if we already got sentencing, other than the waiving of PSI, it would need to be regardless.
Do you want me to order a pre-sentence investigation?
Yes, please.
All right, so we'll order a
So-
pre-sentence investigation. They usually take about 8 weeks, so we'll just
Hold on,
reset this
Tom.
for about 8 weeks' time. It's going to print tomorrow anyway, Mr. Tomas, because we're after a cutoff date for the clerk of court.
So this is Daisy Link, and she had a baby through a vent in jail. She talked to a guy through a vent, which unfortunately I know a whole lot about from having, lived a life of crime 10 plus years ago and been in the adult timeout myself. She was talking through the vent to a guy, and they devised this plan to sue the jail. The plan was that so when you're in jail and you get like cornbread or a cake or something, they wrap it in saran wrap on your tray. Okay, so he was saving the saran wrap, and he spanked the monkey up to 5 times a day. And he put his swimmers in the saran wrap and rolled it up like a cigarette, tied it to a string, and dropped it down a vent. And then Daisy, the girl you see on the screen right now that looks like Elvira, she was at the vent. She would grab the swimmers and she would put them in a yeast infection applicator that she got off the commissary, and in her words, get it in there like swimwear. And she somehow conceived a baby. And it was a big story because these two people conceived the baby without ever actually having fornicated. And they did a DNA test, and it was 99.99999% his. Poor thing. She's a beautiful little girl, but so she has the baby. Her reason for getting pregnant was she wanted to try to sue the jail, which did not work. She also wanted to be pregnant during this trial because she felt like the jury would go easier on her. And this trial was originally scheduled for May, but they pushed it back to October because she gave birth in June, and they wanted to make sure that none of her little devious plans worked. Now, the reason she was in jail was because she shot her boyfriend. He had beat her severely like 5 days before. It was a domestic violence relationship, but she shot him in the foot. And then you see her walking by on the camera and she says, "Oh, I don't think I've hit a major artery. You'll be fine." And then is like taunting him. "You want to go to the hospital?" "No." "Okay." Her boyfriend was on the cocaine and the tequila. And so what happened was she shot him, and it went in his left foot at the heel through his shoe. It came out his Achilles tendon on the left foot, entered the right thigh and the back of the thigh, and came out the front of the right thigh. The trajectory of the bullet was like an astronomical thing, and so was her conceiving the baby that she later conceived. Like the stars aligned and said, "This is meant to happen, and it's about to happen this here day," and it happened. So we were very curious as to what the jury was going to rule because she was taunting him and being like, "Oh, you'll be fine." But he was beating on her. And then, she had the HVAC baby. So either she was either the most unlucky woman in the world or the most lucky woman in the world. Yeah, I don't know, Shauna. It was a whole thing. Yeah, that's what they're calling it, and they were like, "She's like the Virgin Mary," and this is like a Lifetime Movie Network, and we classified it as the Meth Time Movie Network because not exactly, ma'am. I need you to stop it. Stop it right now. So the jury went to deliberate, and we had been covering the trial. I'm usually live at 1:30 in the afternoon, but we were covering the trial, and they came to a verdict. And at that time, I was leaving to go take my husband to get a truck. So I had to go there, and it was like 5 hours, 6 hours of driving, and we just got back. And so now we're live, and we're talking about that and a few other things I have pulled up. Stony said, yeah, and they also said they should have named her Havoc, HAVOC, like HVAC baby. Poor thing. I don't want her to, like, I hope nobody around her in school knows that. The poor baby. She didn't ask to be conceived like that, but God said, "You're going to have a baby. That you asked for it. Here's your baby that you can't raise because you're going to be in prison." And she even says in the phone calls, like, we're both looking at life sentences. If we have to go to prison for life, we might as well go out with a bang, which is a horrible reason to conceive a child. Like, who does that? I I don't know. Make it make sense. I cannot. Um, so that we've been very curious. We've been following the trial daily, and so we came live to talk about the verdict because I was supposed to come live when they had a verdict, but I figured it would at least be tomorrow. You know what I mean? She would be a good travel agent, wouldn't she? Stoney said, "I agree. She was being sassy when she said that because she was so fed up with his abuse. I could see her running her mouth, but I don't think she meant to kill him." And I don't either. And I don't think murder too is the correct charge. I think manslaughter should have been the charge. I don't think she should have walked. Okay. And I don't think that she's matured, but I also don't think, I mean, you can tell by the body cam footage how she's just devastated. And when they tell her that he's dead, because when it hit the artery in his leg, he basically bled out in under 12 minutes. From the time of the shot going off to the time he was pronounced dead was exactly 12 minutes. And I mean, when she's told that he's dead, she screams like you would expect to hear. I don't think she meant to do it at all. Poor thing. And I don't think she should have got murdered too, but that's just my thought. I mean, what are they missing in their brains that they think stuff like this? My brain just don't go there. I don't know. I would have never done that either. And y'all, I used to talk in the vents and I used to talk in the toilet when I was an adult timeout. And I never in my wildest dream would have thought, but I would have said, I'm not having a baby getting pregnant while I'm in jail, which, I was only in there for like, 60 or 90 days at a time. But still, I mean, that's just like, no. And then to say, like, if we get convicted of this crime, we might as well go out with a bang? Really? A bang from having an HVAC baby. What about the baby? Yeah, that's what I call it, adult timeout. When I was in adult timeout, it was funny. I'm sorry. What's a baby or we can't do that. Yeah, it's a funny story, but I feel bad for the baby. I said that too. I need her to pick me some lottery numbers, right? Hey, all I need is Jesus. This is my time of night, and it sucks usually because there's nothing on. Glad to see you, beautiful. I'm glad to see you too. I thought, we're going to be moving. I'm waiting on a couple of things, hopefully in the next month. And I thought about trying to come live at night and seeing how it goes. You can't make everything make sense, and this is one of the things that makes sense. That if it makes sense, something wrong with your brain. I agree. I agree. I agree. Right. I agree. So she's definitely going to try to appeal. We got, what, 3 or 4 minutes left. I'll play the rest of this and then we'll talk about Emmanuel Haro, who Mark told us, brought to us that his father confessed. Auntie Ray said she really thought talking on the phone about her plans wouldn't get the word out. She also said about her boyfriend, who she clearly accidentally shot, that if she'd have known she was looking at 25 to life, she would have cut him up in pieces and dropped his body all over Florida. So nobody would have found it. But that wasn't even played. The prosecution was barely able to put up a fucking case. And she still was convicted of murder too. Like, I cannot get over that. Yeah, it doesn't matter, we love everybody across all nationalities and sides and all of the things. Yeah, adult timeout. Late night crew, yay! Yeah, I might switch it to late night crew. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. If you guys do not mind, hit the thumbs up, twinkle twinkle, baby.
Come on, players, stop hating. Stop hating. Start participating. Start participating, Star. Come on, twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle.
Thank you so much. All right.
8 weeks from now puts us roughly around Thanksgiving. So I'll just ask for the
Yeah.
pre-sentence investigation to come back the Friday before Thanksgiving, the
I
21st. Is that
can't
all right?
either. I can't either.
That's just for the
Right?
return of the PSI. It's not for actual sentencing itself.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so
I agree.
21st is the next court date for the return of the pre-sentence investigation. If it's back then, we can pick a day for sentencing after we get the pre-sentence investigation. Is there anything that I need to address from the parties before we adjourn for the day?
I don't believe so.
All right. Thank you all. We're adjourned.
Let me go there. It's hard one because there's no here.
I can sign it tomorrow.
Okay.
Crying.
Umberto.
Looking at her connect the dots. Y'all, I don't know what to feel because Pedro definitely deserves justice, but I don't think she should have gotten murder too. I don't. I just don't. Right. I wouldn't want you to do 4 or 5 a.m. every day, girl. You'd have to get you some sleep. We'll have to maybe take a poll when I move to see what time would be best for y'all and what time is best for me and all of that. So we got a couple of things on this. Emmanuel Haro's father, Jake Haro, pleads guilty to homicide. That happened today because when we were leaving, as the jury went to deliberations, I was told by Hannah, my love, that baby Emmanuel Haro's father, Jake Haro, had confessed and that Mark had the scoop and he had it out before it was even out on the news. Probably the taunting is what caused the jury to make this decision. I agree. Yeah, it is. It makes you say,
What the fuck is going on here?
if I had been locked up with her, that's exactly what I would have said. It was she told me that she was going to have an H-back baby and she was actually pregnant. I would have done like,
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
I would say, girl, what you going to do with that baby? It's 11:44 in Georgia. It's 11:44 here too. I'm going to have to go soon. It's only 8:45 in Arizona. I know. She's not even out looking for him. Makes me upset. Abella says she aimed the firearm at someone and he died. Sorry, that's worthy of lots of prison, in my opinion. I can see that. Hopefully she'll learn her lesson and mature a little bit. We'll have to do a poll tomorrow and see what you guys think the judge will give her because the judge seemed to be real freaking lenient on her. I don't think either. Mr. Speculating is asleep, so hopefully he won't start snoring real loud. But if he does, y'all have to pardon me. NT Ray said, I don't think either. It seems like Pedro was kind of a terrorist. I've lived that, but I got out and had a permanent PFA written into my divorce. I'm glad that you got away from that, and I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I don't think that she deserved what she got. I don't. They both need to be locked up and throw away the keys, right? In Vegas, it's 8:45. Really, Stony? So she got pregnant, yes, with the HVAC baby, what we call the HVAC baby. She did indeed get pregnant. She did indeed give birth, and the grandmother has the baby. Let me see. Hold on just a minute. I've got to find it. I think I had to go through and clean out my stuff so that I could make the Michelle Martin's video that I just made. I might have got rid of it. Yeah, I think it's off my computer. Hold on, I'll pull up the baby so you can see the baby. Hold on just a minute. One of these shows a picture. There she is. That's the baby when she was first born. Oh my goodness, Hannah. I was gonna say you better get some sleep, but if you are working, then I definitely get it. I think they said 25 years minimum. Let's see. My nails are gonna mess up my typing. So it says life imprisonment. What is the sentence for murder in the second degree in Florida? I don't like it saying that though. Like that. Let's read this real quick. It says Florida's second degree homicide laws characterize the crime into two forms: depraved mind homicide and felony homicide. Depraved mind homicide occurs when someone commits an act showing a reckless disregard for human life without specific intent to kill, which is what happened. Felony homicide applies when a death occurs during the commission of a felony. Both forms are severe, carrying potential life sentences. Recognizes two. Tells us what they could be. The penalties for second degree homicide. Despite being called second degree homicide, Florida law classifies this crime in the punishment category of a first degree felony with enhanced penalties. This means it carries the following penalties: maximum sentence is up to life imprisonment, mandatory minimum sentence if a firearm was used and discharged, causing death or great bodily harm. Florida law requires a mandatory minimum sentence of 25 years. If I had to guess, the judge will probably give her 25 years with credit for the 2 years that she served. Oh no, but my nails are on good. I do them myself too, but it's harder to type sometimes. I don't think she should get life, but she'll probably get 25 years because that judge was really lenient and seemed to really be compassionate towards Daisy, considering how they treated the prosecution. But I think she'll get 25 years, but I don't know that she necessarily should do that much, even, you know, just personally. I just don't. Maybe I've got a soft spot for her. I don't know. I think she needs to grow the hell up, and I think she needs time in prison to grow the hell up, but I don't think I think she should have been convicted of manslaughter, considering that he like beat her so bad 5 days before that her freaking like bone from her skull was showing in her head. You know what I mean? She'll still be somewhat young, yeah. Lordy Jean. Dandy said, "Why not get life? She robbed her children of a life with their father, no matter how shitty he was." I mean, you're absolutely right, Dandy.
Boom, 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 bam.
You're absolutely right about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about Jake Harrow. He has confessed to homicide. Let's see what happened.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We have breaking news out of California in the case of baby Emmanuel Harrow. You'll remember that he went missing August 14th, and his parents initially said they didn't know anything about what happened to their child, that their child had been kidnapped by someone. Ultimately, on September 4th, they were arrested and charged with murder, and we're now getting multiple reports that confirm that the father of the missing 7-month-old has pleaded guilty to all charges, including second-degree murder. Jake Harrow entered that guilty plea during what was scheduled as a felony settlement conference there inside the courtroom. That often happens in a case before it goes to trial. Reporters in the courtroom say Harrow was visibly emotional, crying as he admitted to killing his infant son. Emmanuel's remains have not been located.
I don't think they will because, again, like we were talking about this morning, it was anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks since that Emmanuel had been deceased, more than likely, before he was reported. And if you think about all the trash in Riverside County going to that dump, I don't think he'll ever be found, honestly. It's interesting to me though, because when we first found out, when they were first arrested, the prosecutor said that he was not doing any type of plea deals whatsoever. And these conferences are to see if they can come to some kind of agreement and have a plea deal. So evidently, there's probably going to be a plea deal. It breaks my heart, you know what I mean? Miss Lisa said she could appeal it. Good to see you, Miss Lisa, and thank you for being here. And I think she will. I think she will appeal it. I do. But her appealing it, she's not gonna be able to put up a defense like she was again, I really don't think, because, I mean, the prosecutor, poor thing, was not allowed to do much of anything. You know what I mean?
Jake Haro's sentencing is scheduled for November 3rd. His wife, Rebecca Haro, who also faces murder charges in connection to the case, she continues to plead not guilty. According to what we know on the record, her felony settlement conference, similar to this one, has been scheduled for October 28th. Court TV will continue to follow the story and bring you all of the latest right here.
Do you guys think that, he confessed to save her, to keep her from getting charged? And I'm wondering if she will get charged since he confessed. You know what I mean? Mustang said she got the best defense. In my opinion, she will not have that again. Exactly, Mustang.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
So I don't think she'll get a lesser charge. Fuck him, said Dandy. He obviously never cared. Crying for himself, he has no heart. I don't know how you could hurt a baby, a little itty bitty baby. So this article reads, Jake Haro confession, what baby Emmanuel's father said, where is missing 7-month-old son? In a major breakthrough, Jake Haro, the father of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, has pled guilty to second-degree homicide on Thursday. Initially, Jake had pled not guilty. However, baby Emmanuel's father cried when he appeared in court to submit the pleas, and the matter will now be heard on November 3rd, as per ABC 7 News. Apart from Jake Haro pleading guilty to second-degree homicide in the homicide of his child, he also pled guilty to the following: assault causing bodily harm to a child and filing a false police report, which is a misdemeanor. Okay, so second-degree homicide, we need to see what it is in California. And again, he pled to hurting him, causing great bodily harm. So he basically did the same thing he did to Promise, Carolina Rose, in my opinion. Angela said, no, I think he doesn't want the evidence to come out on what he really did to Emmanuel. Probably. Oh, they did. I need to look it up, though. I'll look it up. Let me see what a second-degree homicide carries in California. Hold on just a minute. Lord. I spelled it wrong. In California, second-degree homicide is defined as the unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought, but without premeditation. The penalties for second-degree homicide typically range from 15 years to life imprisonment in state prison, depending on the circumstances of the crime. This classification is distinct from first-degree homicide, which requires premeditation and deliberation. Factors such as the use of a deadly weapon or victim status, example law enforcement, can increase the severity of the sentence. If I had to guess, I would say that he probably shook baby Emmanuel Haro or dropped him or said something to that effect that threw him up against the wall. God heaven forbid, I don't even want to think about that. But basically, he didn't say today's the day I'm going to commit the homicide of my son. It was something that happened probably after prolonged abuse. Native Girl, thank you so much for being a member for a month. That is so sweet and supportive of you, and you are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that milestone with us. That I really appreciate you being here and being a member. And thank you for dropping in tonight. It is good to see you, love. Thank you so much. Angela said probably sticking with rolling on him in his sleep. That could be true. Yep. And that would well, I don't know, because if we go back over here and I actually finish reading the article, it says assault causing bodily harm to a child. That would make sense. Rolling over him could technically be considered rolling over on him while he was sleeping could be considered assault, I would think, maybe. I don't know. Hey, Capital K, good to see you. Awesome, good to see you, speculating family. She had a black eye. Yeah, I think that was remember they only got that footage, like we've had that footage since their first or second court appearance. It's been the same footage. I don't think that they got new camera footage yet. So I think it was from before when she first went into jail. Mark, thank you so much for gifting a speculation station membership. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. I greatly appreciate that. Let me see if I can access my live stream and see who that went to. I can. It went to Ashley Ann. Ashley Ann, if you are here and you are aware that Mark the Shark gifted you a membership, please tell Mark the Shark thank you. And if y'all have not subscribed to him, go do so because he is amazing. Ashley, I will grab the haunted train to pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Mark. Loudmouth said he should get the death penalty, but we all know he won't. I don't think they even do that anymore in California. Cindy said, especially if he was drunk or high when he rolled on him in bed. He would not confess to that, I don't think. I don't think he was. I don't think he rolled over on him in bed. I don't think that if he used that as an excuse, I don't think it's actually true. I think he hurt that baby just like he hurt Promise. Dandy said when they consider aggravating factors, Jake is fucked. That was very kind, wasn't it, Miss Lisa? We love Mark the Shark. He's amazing. He's been keeping on top of this case like white on rice. Thank you so much, Cindy, for dropping Mark's link. I love the Halloween movies. Love them, love them. All right. It says, meanwhile, Rebecca pled not guilty to an amended criminal complaint as per the publication. While there has been a break in terms of the alleged perpetrators, there has been no update on where baby Emmanuel might be. The police come as the horror couple were in court on Thursday morning for a felony settlement conference with talks seeking to reach a plea agreement. The couple both stood charged with homicide and had pled not guilty. Felony settlement conferences normally take place ahead of a preliminary hearing. It is an informal discussion between defense attorneys and the prosecution in front of the judge, during which time they exchange information and try to negotiate a solution for cases. Authorities do not know where baby Emmanuel is, as the search did not turn up anything previously, and no new information has come to light about the child's whereabouts either. As per the publication, prosecutors should be offering more information about the new developments in court on Thursday. Haro went missing on August 14th, and his parents were arrested on September 4th. They pled not guilty at the time. They were taken into custody after a multi-agency probe into the disappearance and presumed death of a baby Emmanuel. Rebecca has said that she was attacked and her baby kidnapped from the parking lot in Yucaipa, but authorities found inconsistencies in the story. Searches at the Haros Cabazon home followed, and they were both arrested and charged. I want to know what he really did. Like, I really wish the prosecution would make him admit to exactly what he did. You know what I mean? Hey, little bit of Lisa. Hey, Marcus. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you for subbing to Mark, capital K. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I hope that he gets at least life in prison for that. I really do. I don't think I think he deserves at least that. I don't know, it pisses me off to talk about Jake Haro and Rebecca because, again, Rebecca's the second woman that stood by as her child was being abused by this man and let it happen. I don't know what kind of control he has over these women, but honey, you can do way better. I would never. You would have to. Oh my God. I can't even, like, I don't think that you would be able to stop me. I would get the strength of 10 men if you were trying to hurt a child, any child, that child, those children, your children, my children. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hola. Danny said, hola. Rosie said, my aunt lives in Yucaipa. I asked my cousin if they heard about the case. She said, yes, it's all over the place. It is. They had so many reporters out there on the Tierra and all of the people from TikTok too. Capital K said, I agree. They should have to tell what they did before they get a deal. Exactly. Yes, Capital K. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Yes, sir, or ma'am.
Bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
I see your picture now. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Capital K, for becoming a member. That was so very sweet and supportive of you and your beautiful picture. I like your blonde hair. It's so pretty. When I highlight it, I can see it better, and I haven't looked over there. Thank you so much. um, I will grab the haunted train to come pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Capital K. Hey, Madeline. And Lori Ann, I saw that you came in. Thank you so much for letting me know. I think it was you that told me earlier that they had reached a verdict. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. I love our speculating family so much. I don't have any compassion either for these perpetrators. They make me sick. I get aggravated talking about Jake Haro. I cannot stand that man because he already hurt one baby and got away with it. And then he hurt another one. That shit pisses me off. Pisses me off real bad. All right. So lastly, before I go for the night, I'm going to write down this timestamp real quick. And we're going to have another after school special from the officer here in Florida about, do you guys remember we talked briefly about a teen that went missing? And he said, sent a text message to his parents saying that he was shot and then taken into a van with 4 Mexican people, and they had kidnapped him. And then we later found out that there was video footage of him buying a bicycle and a tent from a Walmart and seemingly disappearing into the night. Well, I think we found out that he had genuinely shot himself. Now he's been arrested and is looking at charges. So I wanted to bring us this after school special again from the way they do it down in this county in Florida and see what they had to say about it, because this officer man right here said he would keep us updated, and he has. So let's see what he has to say about that young man. I think 17 years old.
The initial details that Caden texted to his family were proven to be false. Completely made up. We did find evidence of a single gunshot where Caden left his truck. However, his claims that he had been shot and abducted were quickly disproven. We then learned that he had purchased a bicycle, tent, and camping supplies just prior to him reporting this. Caden simply rode away towards Williston, while the rest of us were left to think the worst, and my team was working in an overdrive to solve this case.
Who feels like they're back in high school watching the videos in like health class or something? Real quick, Dandy said look up octopus hot dogs for dogs. I've just looked up octopus hot dogs. Let me add for dogs. And then we'll go back to our after school special. Look at that. Ain't they cute? That's adorable. I never even thought about doing that.
Now, to continue the ruse, Caden,
I hope not,
who had a handgun with him since the beginning of all of this, chose to shoot himself in the leg, causing a non-life-threatening injury just prior to walking out to the roadway where he would be located by citizens in Williston. There is zero chance that Caden's gunshot wound came from any type of an assailant.
Oh my goodness.
Now, many of you have asked, will Caden be facing any charges? What about the taxpayers' cost of this large-scale investigation and search? Trust me, it is on my mind. I can tell you those items are not off the table at this point.
That was last week, the Marion County Sheriff down in Florida, quickly becoming one of my favorite sheriffs down there, by the way.
Yeah, he reminds me of Sheriff Grady Judd, who we all love so much. A 13-year-old girl who was a classmate of a friend's daughter went missing here in Maine. They found her this week and arrested her kidnapper. He is scary. You had told me about that, and we shared her picture. I think it was you or somebody said that their daughter knew the girl, and we shared her photo, and they emailed me and said that she had been located safe. And I was so very grateful for that. And I don't remember if I told y'all that. If I didn't, I apologize for not telling y'all. But yes, the little girl was located and she is safe. Thank God. Like once in a while, it's nice to have a good outcome. At least she's safe. I don't like it when they say, unharmed and safe, or there's a way they put it when they find children that have been kidnapped or whatever, and it's like it portrays it as, they're safe and they're okay, but you don't know if they're okay until you've like assessed them mentally and think like God only knows what happened. I don't like it when they say that. Located safe is good, but Grady Judd is hilarious. I like him though. I hope he knew what he was using a firearm on. I guess so. Look, he's still alive. It didn't hit an artery. Look, he was desperate to get away from his parents. And why? You have to ask yourself why. Like to the extent to shoot yourself in the leg? There is, Miss Lisa. Yes, Mustang. Thank God. Bella said, Hannah, we put you to bed, girl. You need to go to bed. Was that the one she was in a container for 9 months? No, she was unfortunately found deceased by her and her mother's boyfriend, and her mother's sister were the ones who did it. I dropped the arrest affidavits. We went over them the other day, and they're on Patreon.
And wondering, are there going to be charges for Caden Spite, who
Yes,
apparently,
they will.
allegedly,
Thank you.
conducted this elaborate hoax, including shooting himself? Well, the verdict is in, and yes, he will be facing charges. Take a look at this. Today, Marion County Sheriff's Office, Major Crimes Detective Jason Williams arrested 17-year-old Caden Spite for presenting false evidence, shooting into a conveyance, making a false report of a crime, and possession of a firearm by a minor. So what's going on here? Let's bring back in our think tank. Darrell Cohen, Meg Strickler, TJ Ward with us. I'm not surprised that he got charged.
Well, I
knew it last week.
Well, he needed to be charged, but this to
Oh, hold on. We're watching it on my computer, so it'll play an ad. I do want to see what they're going to say. Maybe it's playing an ad. I don't know. Let me refresh it. I do want to know what they're going to say, even though I usually skip it past the think tank part of it, because I wonder what they're going to charge him with being a 17-year-old kid.
tomorrow and tomorrow's tomorrow. He's going to be prosecuted. They'll take care of him. But we have to tell everyone
Right.
else who may be thinking about false report of a crime
Yes, fellas.
that
Yes,
he
I
or
put
she
him to bed.
cannot do it because the law enforcement people, wherever you live, are going to be after you and they're going to prosecute
Right.
you. This is unacceptable
Thank you,
behavior.
Julie.
Agreed. And he did. I'm really proud of the law enforcement. They took it all very seriously, and it was an Amber Alert and all those other things. What I do think when I look at this case as a defense lawyer, though, is I'm going to go have him do a psychiatric evaluation, see what mental illness is going on here, because how in the heck would you shoot yourself no matter what, beyond all the rest of this storyline? It is all bizarre.
No,
To be 17 years old and shoot yourself in the leg, like Miss Lisa said, he either wanted to get away or he wanted attention. Yes, ma'am.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
And why? At the ripe young age of 17. Yes, Bellis, Basil is in bed with his teddy and his blankie. Going to bed, which I'm about to do here in a minute.
It was all in. All right, TJ, I'm going to give you some more facts. You ready?
Okay.
September 25th, 4:10, deputies respond to the 12800 block of Highway 484 in Dunellen after Spite texted his family that he had been shot, and Life 360 showed that as his last known location. When deputies arrived, they located the truck. However, he was nowhere to be found. Crime scene technicians observed a bullet hole through the windshield of the vehicle, suspected blood, his severely damaged cell phone, drag marks in the dirt, and here's the key, I think, bicycle tracks leading away from his truck. Further investigation and testing revealed that Spite had fired the shot through the windshield splattered a mixture of blood in the truck and destroyed his cell phone, then fled the area on a bike with camping supplies he purchased at Walmart just before reporting this incident. An eyewitness also advised that he saw Spite leaving the area on a bicycle.
So obviously not a very well thought out plan, but you know, we are talking about a 17-year-old. Rosie said, how do you prosecute 10-year-old kids that abused a 9-year-old? It's insane. I think it was actually a 5-year-old with that story, and they were 8, 9, and 10. And we talked about it briefly. I don't know, because what they did to that poor child are things that obviously had been done to them. You don't come up with that as an 8, 9, and 10-year-old, the things they did to that little girl, without having it done to you. I want to know why none of the parents have been arrested in that case yet. We talked about that when we talked about Nova. It's at the end of that video. Too bad being an idiot isn't chargeable offense, right? Sounds like the James Bugler case in UK, 2-year-old abducted and killed by 2 10-year-olds. I remember that. Child, thank you for being a member for 5 whole months. You are amazing. Thank you so much for 5 months of support. You are amazing. You're so sweet. I love you guys so much. Thank you for that. Happy Thursday, my love. Well, it's actually Friday for me, early Friday, but thank you so much for that. And I appreciate you sharing that milestone with us. You guys are so sweet and so amazing. I appreciate you guys all so very much. Oh my God, it does mine too. It's awful.
I guess that was an easy alleged crime scene to kind of evaluate.
I don't know how you can see that.
When it pulls this ad up, it like freezes. All right, I'm going to refresh it and try one more time. And after that, we'll have to give up on it. We got most of the information. Hold on, we got to back it up a little bit. Oh, is it actually going to play this time? We got 30 seconds to talk. That was so sweet of you to share that, Chow. Where are the parents and how do they know all that stuff at that age, right? Somebody's been doing that to them. And for them to stick sticks in her private area, like that's a very juvenile thing that like a very young mind would do. And I think their mind got stuck at the age that they started getting abused, like a 1 or 2-year-old. It's a hard case.
His blood without causing pain.
Hold on.
Sheriff's Office. While continuing the investigation, detectives additionally learned that Spite had mentioned running away before, and they located ChatGPT searches on his laptop about collecting his blood without causing pain and Mexican cartels.
What he wanted to do, in my view, was to say PPM. Poor, pitiful me, and I am just a victim of this horrible, horrendous thing. And he had no idea that he was setting off a firestorm for the entire
Should we investigate what was happening at home? Maybe there's a reason why he wanted to run away?
400%.
I don't know if there was.
It will be investigated. He's just 17 years old. It will be looked into as part of the defense, 100%. That's going to be one of the things we argue, because when he does the eval that has been ordered by his lawyer, they're going to go into his family history. It's what you do, and they'll learn how we got here. Because how did he do all that stuff to his car, to his leg, to the city, to Marion County? I mean, this is awful.
I mean, there was a lot of planning and plotting that went into this. But if you look into his background, I mean, he seems like a pretty normal 17-year-old in rural Florida. But I guess something else is going on
He's
here.
emotionally
That's why
immature.
I said family. Something was going on with his family. Who was he doing this for? It was probably to get attention from his parents.
We'll talk about that case.
But this was totally off the wall, what he did, going this far and doing what he did, causing law enforcement to have to go through this, the whole thing, what they had to go through, and spending their time.
If I represented him, the first thing would be a psychiatric evaluation. The second thing, he would be in counseling 2 to 3 to 4 times a week. The third thing, he would be doing community service. The fourth thing, he would write a apology letter. He would be doing everything he could that I would force him to do. If he didn't want to do it, he'd then want to
Even
do
before any plea or any trial.
absolutely. You do that first, and you throw yourself, fall on your sword, throw yourself on the mercy of the court and the state attorney's
There's
office.
more charges. He's criminal damage to property. He shot the car.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more charges too.
And
You can come up
possession.
with.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%, and I would want to know why he did that. I mean, you see him on horseback, you see him with his vehicle. He appeared to almost have the world gifted to him. It's a very strange case. Very strange case. The what everybody wants to know is why did he do it, you know?
Of a gun by a minor,
Which is
which is
insane.
another major problem.
Yes.
Can he be charged with attempted kidnapping of himself?
Yeah, right.
They come up with a new statute.
Yeah. So the future for this child, he's still a child. He's 17, but obviously facing serious charges for what he did. Is this a case where he deserves incarceration?
No.
Definitely not.
No, I
and
don't
that's
think so
spelled
either.
N-O, not K-N-O-W. He deserves a lengthy, probated sentence with a great deal of supervision where he can't breathe incorrectly without the proper officials being aware of it.
And then the onus is on him to make the right direction, to go in the right direction for the rest of his life.
Yeah. When I first heard the story and heard that it was a hoax, and the age of the child, the first thing I'm thinking is social media, right? Everyone wants to become, that hero, get the attention from the world, because maybe there would be some miraculous escape from the Mexican cartel that kidnapped him. Obviously, it didn't turn out that way, but I think that's something else that they'll need to look into. So there's planning, but obviously the level of sophistication not there. There's cameras.
Right, because he's a 17-year-old kid. I think that he needs to have some kind of cultural understanding class too, because these people, blaming people of the Spanish heritage is really getting on my nerves. He's blaming cartels. Rebecca Haro saying the man said, "Hola, why are we doing that? Can we please stop? It's ridiculous."
Everywhere. We're going to see what you did, what happened at the scene. They put the pieces together. Is there a moral to this story?
One other thing, by the way, I would have him do is work with the police department as they investigate other crimes so he understands the severity of what happened and what he could have caused.
Moral of the story is this technology is all over us right now. You're not getting away with anything.
Not anymore.
Nope. Okay, so you guys brought up the case of the little girl. Before we close out for the night and I go to bed and get me a little bit of sleep, I wanted to show this case to you guys so you guys would kind of know what we were discussing. It's a horrible case that I didn't even know about until somebody sent it to me, and I have to ask myself why on that as well, because this case should be headline news. I don't want to continue to share this child's abuse, but there's a reason that the mother needs help with this. So we'll watch this. This is going to be very triggering. It's going to be very hard to hear. So I want to let you know that before we listen to this video. I agree with that too, Rebecca, because she falsified a police report. She lied, all of the things. I think her name might be Jamari. I'm not sure. I think she says her name. But I'm not sure if they say her name or not. Chow, thank you so much for gifting 5 Speculation Station memberships. You are a freaking rock star. Thank you so much, my love. Those memberships went to Jojo RS, Lou, Alexandria Alexia Felitas, and Lulu Adapta. If you guys were gifted from Chow and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Chow thank you. Thank you so much, Chow, from the bottom of my heart. No, you're good, baby. Don't ever say that. Thank you so much. With every fiber of my being and from the bottom of my heart, you are amazing. I greatly appreciate that. It helps so much. And thank you for giving the gift of new videos to 5 new people. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are so freaking sweet and amazing. I have so much love for our speculating family. I will grab the haunted train to pick our new members up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you again, Chow. That was so very sweet of you. Lovely Bones, I definitely get it. It's horrible. You have a good night, sweetheart. We're going to end after this anyway. I've got to go to bed. Yeah, get you some sleep, sweetheart. It's so hard to hear, I know. You found your eye? Good. Yes, thank you, child. That was so very sweet. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, your peace matters. Please protect your peace. So as I said, this is going to be very hard to hear what happened to this beautiful little baby.
I have a horrific story that I want to talk about,
Please
but I want to
share
help a
her.
mother that is pleading for justice for her sweet 5-year-old baby girl, A-Marie. Before we get into the details of this case, I do have to say trigger warning because this is one of the most horrific cases that I have ever heard, and it hits very close to home because this situation happened very close to where I live. And this mother's
I know the mother is an Antibia Kennebrew. And I just shared the link to this channel. Thank you, Mark. Joe, is Joe here? I didn't see Joe come in. There you are. They definitely disposed of the body together. Jake and Rebecca Haro definitely did. And she knows more and she needs to speak up. I agree. Good to see you, Joe. Sorry I missed you coming in. Why is there a ghost cat running in the air outside the train? Chasing that damn balloon? The cat had 9 lives and used them all, evidently. Yeah, thank you, Mustang. Okay. Um, so I dropped the link to this video. If you guys want to share it out, you can. It might help bring justice. I don't know. This woman needs some justice, and I don't even know where to begin.
heartbreaking pleas to try to get justice for her baby girl has been starting to gain some traction with local news sites in Cleveland, Ohio, but I feel like this story needs to go much further than that. And once again, before I start telling you the details about this case, a huge trigger warning. This is very graphic, and even the news media is not getting into
Have a good
explicit
night,
detail
Mustang.
of exactly what happened because they don't feel like it is appropriate for the news. We'll try to sensitize this information as well as I can, but it's very important that this message is heard and that this baby girl gets justice. A-Marie's mother took to Facebook and said, on September 13th of 2025, my daughter resided at a trusted family member's residence around the area of 145th in St. Clair while I underwent a medical procedure. While she was away, I got a phone call from my family member stating that my daughter walked out of her house and she couldn't find her anywhere and that the authorities were contacted. I was immediately filled with panic and I rushed out of my house to arrive to the scene. As soon as I got there, I ran to the EMS truck where I found my daughter unresponsive, bloody, with her hair pulled from her scalp, her body covered in bruises, her fingernails filled with dirt, her eyes filled with blood, her neck showing signs of strangulation, her mouth and lips bloody, and her private areas filled with debris. In a big lump.
Lori Ann, this one is hard to hear, and I'm just letting you know. Amari, thank you. That is her name, Amari, or A-Marie. Young ones who did this need help. I think they have gone through some bad things. I think they have 2 Mama Jacks, and I wonder why none of the adults in their lives have been arrested yet. It is so horrible, Mustang. It really is. YouTube changed the rhythm. It's okay, though. Oh no.
On her head. I couldn't believe what I saw in front of me. My daughter did not look like herself. She was traumatized. She was shaken up. A group of bigger kids around the ages 8, 9, and 10 walked up to my daughter, presenting themselves as friendly, and took her by the hand and walked her to a field that was far away from the residence. In that field, they beat my daughter until she was unconscious. They ripped out her hair, and they held my daughter down as they essayed her. They shoved sticks down her throat and also down her private area. They stripped her and strangled her with her own shirt. And one of these children proceeded to take out his private area and leave her covered in urine. They beat her and penetrated her until she was unconscious and unresponsive. 1 out of 3 kids integrated their teeth on my baby's bottom area to hold her still as they essayed her. The kids left her where she was at, not telling no adult, thinking they succeeded in unaliving her. And
The fact that they put like sticks, we get it, but the fact that they did that with sticks, I don't know. It makes me think that this has been going on. This has been happening to them from a very young age. It's just the stick things to me and the debris in the private, like trash, bad. degrading, like, just they went out of their way to degrade her, and that it's just it presents a very juvenile mindset. And yes, we are talking about kids, but I'm talking about like toddler age. And that makes me think that they've been abused from the age of toddlers. It is. It's very sick. And when we talk about the case in the UK where the 2 10-year-olds took the child and did very similar things, I think that you guys had told me they were in a mental health facility even up to this day or until they became adults. And I think that's what needs to happen here. I don't think that they need to go to jail necessarily, but I do think that they need to be put in a mental health facility for an extended period of time. And I think the adults in this case need to be held accountable, need to go to jail. Somebody knows something. There's no way that these children at the ages of 8, 9, and 10 are displaying these types of behaviors, and nobody's seen that. Nobody knows anything about it or anything. That's not possible in my mind. They'll have DNA, and if they don't get justice for her, there will be hell. I'm hoping that she gets justice. Oh, Lori Ann, I'm so glad that I know you had said that. Right, exactly, Chow. Monsters aren't born, they're made. I'm super happy for you, Lori Ann. I'm thinking some videos caused what they did. You think it was from videos? But that would have to be like complete, like not even videos that you would access on YouTube. That would have to be like, you go to a special site for that. You know what I mean? I've seen things than just watch a trial. Fuck these people, right? Exactly.
Continued playing my family member as she was still looking for my daughter. She saw 2 out of the 3 children that live on her street that she didn't know at the time had harmed my daughter and walked up to them and asked them if they saw a little girl. Stared at her and with no remorse told her no and continued playing, knowing what they had just done to my daughter. As my family member went back to her house waiting on authorities, the same kids who she had questions came to her with their mother saying that they know where my daughter is. Same 2 kids that stated that they did not know where my daughter was, now with their mother took my family member to where my daughter was found in the field, where she was left unclothed, beaten, penetrated, and unresponsive. Her clothes, her hair, and later her shoes were scattered all around the
Exactly,
field.
Kalisa.
My cousin was panicking, placing my daughter in her vehicle and rushed her back to her house and
True.
continued to wait for authorities to get there. My daughter is completely traumatized and I'm completely traumatized. These kids broke my daughter's spirit. They took away her boundaries, penetrated her and constantly beat her. I never wanted to get the media involved because I didn't want my daughter's trauma plastered everywhere when she has to constantly see what happened to her and what she's been through. I also trusted that she was going to get justice that she needed, and I'm bringing this to the media today because the authorities are failing my daughter. They are trying to tell me that the 2 of the kids can't and won't be charged because they are 8 and 9 years old. Even though they attempted to unalive my baby and they R-worded her and beat her, they are saying legally these 2 boys cannot be charged. I need help and I need justice for my daughter. I have reached out to legal aid and the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association for legal help. I have also reached out to the R Crisis to help me get a victim advocate. I was told that they could help me on the criminal justice side. I have been advocating for my daughter and I'm not getting any help. I also contacted the mayor of Cleveland, Ohio office to
So, what do you do? Like, what do you do with an 8 and a 9-year-old? You don't send them to prison. Definitely a mental health facility, but you can't send them to prison, you know? They said they were watching hardcore BDSM porn and gore porn on a phone. Is that what they said? I saw this, but the kids wouldn't have known those things if they hadn't seen it, and now we know at least that they have been watching adult stuff. It might not have let it come through. So they admitted to watching that stuff on a phone? I mean, it could cause that because, like, I mean, yeah, there's some like with the BDSM stuff, you get yeah, like degrading and things like that, but I would still be doing some doctor's appointments and checking some things, you know what I mean? At those ages, I never allowed my son out of my sight. So how does this happen? None of these kids should have been left unattended. And it seems to me like maybe they lived on a road where everybody just kind of played together. She was having surgery and left her with a trusted friend who evidently let her play with kids that she probably trusted. I don't know. Juvenile detention, yeah, with some extensive inpatient therapy, I think. What are they watching? So you guys think it was what they were watching. But can parents be investigated for their kids' actions? They should be. They should be because I feel like I mean, I'm gonna need some hardcore evidence that they were watching some hardcore things, but I'm still I mean, I would be demanding that they were seen by a doctor and made sure that they had not been hurt in any type of way because I really think that it's more than that personally. But it could come from watching like some BDSM stuff is very degrading toward women. So it could come from that. I just don't believe that that's all that happened.
Try and get help. I have not received anything yet. I need you all to understand
Yeah.
if them two kids' mother did not make them boys go back to my family member and let her know where my daughter
I
was
see that
at,
too.
my baby wouldn't have been found right now. And my baby wouldn't have
Right.
been alive. Literally tried to unalive my daughter. They are not normal kids themselves, and their parents need to be held accountable. My daughter
Yep.
is not the same. She is having behavioral problems. She is mentally not okay. I am not mentally okay. Me not getting justice for my daughter makes me feel like I failed her. She is saying things about unaliving. She is breaking down. She hates talking about what happened to her, and I am breaking down with her. I have set her up with a therapist, and I'm also seeking one for myself. I cannot sleep. I barely eat. I keep repeatedly seeing images of my baby in that field.
She's only 5. Lisa said, "That's why I didn't let my child stay the night with anyone that young." I didn't either, and I always thought, maybe I'm just too overprotected. Even with my bonus children, I wouldn't because it makes you afraid of things like that, especially the things you see in the world these days. "Hey, Timmy, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for being here." Joe said they will reoffend and end up doing life in prison eventually. They will if they don't get the proper help. Like they should already be in a mental health facility and the parents should be like really there should be some charges in my opinion. When I was a kid in the 70s, we were gone all day coming home for lunch and then when the street lights came on, but I don't remember any of us doing crap like this. We were truly innocent just playing. And even when I was growing up, we rode our bikes all day. All day. We went down to the creek and swam in the creek like it never would anybody do anything like this. Like, what has changed? And we came home when the street lights came on, and we would ride our bike to damn 3 towns over.
5 years old. These horrific things had happened to her. Please help.
Hey,
Please look
Crystal.
at this as if it was your own kid. This is not gossip.
Right.
This is not a funny matter. This is not nothing to not take serious. This is our
Exactly.
life. Please help us. There is more way graphic photos of my daughter where she looked way worse that I'm not comfortable posting. Then her mother did post a couple photos of her baby when she was in the hospital, and one where you can see her hair had been ripped from her head.
That's a horrible picture to see. Yeah, you were saying as young as 11 and 12. These offenders that did these horrible things to this little girl were 8, 9, and 10. It's horrific. They didn't say, um, but I mean, I'm thinking that they were and that hopefully she will heal. God, please. I think it needs to be more than military school. There needs to be some extensive therapy.
After this started to gain some traction, the Cleveland Division of Police did reach out with a statement saying that the Cleveland Division of Police is aware of a post recently shared regarding an ongoing case. Division of SMEX Crimes and Child Abuse Unit is actively investigating a matter
Joe.
involving multiple children under the age of 10, both as victims and as suspects. Due to the sensitive nature of this case, releasing additional information at this time could jeopardize the integrity of the investigation and compromise the privacy and constitutional rights of those involved. And it's very discouraging seeing the police put out this statement when we know her mother said that she has been trying and she had got no help at all. She has still been saying on social media and even on local news sites that she has now been able to appear on that she still hasn't heard anything or got any justice for her baby. Based off the mother saying that the police said they cannot arrest these younger kids that did this to A. Marie because of their age, and then the police saying that these children children were victims, but they are also suspects, makes me 110% not understand how the parents are not being arrested and held accountable for this.
Exactly.
The mother has alleged that the parents literally came there with their children, and children, I'm sorry, just do not just decide to one day act like this. And it seems like the police do know this because they literally call these children's victims, but also suspects. This case.
So yeah, for them to call them victims and also suspects tells me that somebody else was abusing them. But if you know that these children were victims as well as suspects, who was abusing them and why aren't they in jail? And why aren't the kids in like a mental health facility inpatient where they're getting therapy 2 and 3 times a day for the next until they're adults? You know what I mean? I think they need detention to some extent, but like in a mental health facility, you know what I mean? Play with the kids from the apartments we all lived in. 2 to 8-year-old neighbor girls tried to, oh my God. Why is that happening? I'm so sorry, Kalisa. Why? Why are children doing these things? I don't know, Rosie. Let me look into it and see what I can find out, and I'll let you know.
Case is absolutely
I've
horrific.
got
It
her
is
name written
honestly
down and her
very,
mama's name,
very difficult to talk about, but I really feel like this case needs to
and
be
I'll see what I
amplified
can find
because
out.
sweet A. Marie needs justice. Sweet baby girl is only 5 years old, and not only is this case very close to where I live, I also have a 5-year-old daughter myself, and I could never imagine this. I'll help push this story out. I feel like it deserves
Yeah.
big eyes on what is happening with this case. This sweet baby deserves justice. If I can ever use my platform for good, you already know I'm definitely going to do it. But you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Yeah, a lot of them have been shut down, and we need to bring them back. I know that abuse goes on, but if we have cameras or something, like, we need to stop the abuse in these facilities so they can be used, in my opinion. Rosie, I have the mother's name written down. I know the daughter's name is A. Marie, but the mother's name is the most important, and I will see what I can find. I'll do my best. I can't promise it'll be tomorrow because I have to get up in 5.5 hours and go get the truck that we were getting tonight, and that's going to be another 5 hours. So I'm hoping that I'm not late for the live tomorrow. I don't know. I don't think I'll have time to research it much between now and then, but by Saturday, if I haven't found anything, I should have found something by Saturday. Hey, Max, good to see you. Think of the ripple effect, then decide a slap on the wrist or punishment. Yeah, something needs to happen, um, or it'll keep happening again. I remember telling my counselor that I did not want my offender to face charges because he must have been abused as well. If he went through what I did, I felt sorry for him, but when does it stop? Right. Something needs, they need to be held accountable, but if it was an adult or something, that person needs to go to jail for the rest of their life. Right. I couldn't imagine the neighborhood kids I grew up with behaving this way. We camped together, skated together, all that. Right. Like, when did that stop? Yes, yes, I was very surprised, Lorianne, that they charged Daisy with second-degree homicide. I thought she would get manslaughter. I really did. And I'm kinda upset about it. I don't think she deserved homicide in the second degree. In my opinion, Hannah says, this happens because parents are desensitized to it, so they are less concerned about their children seeing these things, and that's true too. All of these things are true that you guys are saying. It's okay, be safe, but if we can help it, it would be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it for sure. A very violent city. Mm. I truly believe that kids are exposed to so much unsupervised screen time for very young and have no clue how dangerous it is. I agree. And we as parents can control that, Cindy. You know what I mean? I've been trying to get my offenders locked up for life, but law enforcement won't work with me. They've all reoffended multiple times and still continue on the streets. What the hell, loudmouth? I am so sorry you went through that. That's insane to me. And I'm so sorry. I hope that they get locked up. If you know of any way I could help, please let me know. You think they'll disappear, Joe? Yeah, it's good to see you, Max. You sent me a text? Okay. Parents aren't aware what their kids are seeing on social media. They have parental controls, not realizing they are watching on a cam friends' older older brother. Oh, so they're watching, yeah, bad stuff on like a friend's older phone. And I mean, even at that, we saw freaking, Penthouse and things like that. Okay. I don't know. Very interesting. Not, I mean, we saw things like that, like, Penthouse and all of the things. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Not we'll see. My mind's on two different things. We saw Penthouse and Playboy magazines and things like that when we were, I guess teenagers. I don't think I ever saw it that freaking young, but we still didn't do things like that, like, I had an older brother and you find it under, your older brother's bed and you're like, "Oh my God." And then you put it back and run away. Like what's changed so much? You know what I mean? Started, in my opinion, when smut TV became free and electronic devices became babysitters. Yes, Tammy, exactly.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
Exactly. Are watching. Oh my God. They have some things on YouTube that are quite questionable. In a magazine from located on the rafters of my daddy's. Right. And we didn't do things like this. You know what I mean? One of them is the predator poachers, and I cannot get in contact with anyone to tell me, so he can't be prosecuted further. Oh my God. That's so horrible, Loudmouth. There's got to be something that can be done. Yeah, much love to you too, Orange Rose. You guys make it a safe space. Penthouse was not the same as what kids have access to today, and you're right about that. Yeah, Max, are you okay? You got some medicine for your headache? I was so scared of them. My grandma said they would rot our brains, so I even ran from Sears and Roblox and Robux. That's funny. But yeah, so what happened to that? You know what I mean? I didn't see any magazines until I was married. None of my home or family's homies. My family's home. I did, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, what is that?" and run away, or accidentally overhear your parents and things like that. But we never, ever would have done anything like that. Like I don't know what the world has come to. All right. So I'm so sorry, Max. I hope that gets better. I'm gonna go for the night. I'm gonna play. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming so late. I am sorry that I was not able to go live when the verdict was read, but we were able to come together this evening and talk about it, and I have greatly enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love our speculating family so very much. Wanted to Madonna and Playboy. I bought it for him. Did you? But see, I mean, we did things like that, and nothing ever happened like this. Yep. I agree, Joe, unfortunately. Um, thank you guys for being here. I do got to get to bed so I can at least get a few hours of sleep before we go do the stuff in the morning. I love you all. I will be back tomorrow. I'm planning on being here at 1:30 unless we get stuck getting the truck or, doing that process. If I have to come later, I will reschedule. My plan for tomorrow is to go over the Michelle Martin's plea deal, which is a 3-hour video itself, so we'll probably be here for quite a while. So if you can't make it, if you come in or whatever, drop in, come in for a little bit and then roll out for a little bit. I completely get it. I hope to see you all there as much as we can. Please stay safe. Try to get you guys some sleep tonight, and I will see y'all in the morning. I love you all very much. Please know that you are enough. You are special. You are important. And you are loved. And I will play our outro song. I think Hio set us up to be directed over to Nonsense. Nonsense does she's the she does really good lives. She does talks about, some questionable things going on in the Crama community. It's like the drama behind true crime creators. So if you want a little bit of drama in your life, definitely check them out. It will take you down a whole rabbit hole of all kinds of things. I think Hio set us up to be directed over there. I don't know how to do it, but she said she tried. You couldn't redirect Mark yet. Mark will have to open that up. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll get with Mark and get him to open that up too. If you guys Yeah, it's a test, so I don't know if it'll take you over there or not. If it does, let me know tomorrow when we come live if you guys were directed over there. And you can hang out or you can go find something else to watch. I'm going to bed. Love you all. Good night. You applied at the base of your neck? Oh, are you talking about for tension headaches? Yeah. Good night, my loves. Good night. Good night. Sleep sweet. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.